You ever have one of those months? You didn't buy anything crazy, just the usual stuff, maybe some coffee, groceries, paid a few bills, and then you look at your bank account and you're just like, where did it all go? It's this super frustrating feeling that a lot of us have, and today we're going to figure out why it happens.
So to get to the bottom of this, let's just pretend for a minute. Imagine your money isn't, well, money. Imagine it's a giant pile of bananas. When you get paid, your pile gets bigger. When you buy stuff, bananas disappear. So the real question we need to ask is, where are all of your bananas going?
To help us out, let's meet two monkeys, Milo and Mona. Now, here's the thing. They both get the exact same number of bananas every single month. But for some reason, Milo's pile is always getting smaller and he's totally stressed out. Meanwhile, Mona's pile just keeps growing. So what's her secret? What is Milo doing that's so different?
Okay, so first we got to look at what I call the daily banana leaks. These are those little handfuls of bananas that vanish from Milo's pile, and he doesn't even really notice they're gone. And a huge one for him starts with lunch.
See, Milo grabs fast food a lot. He thinks it's the cheap and easy way to go. But here's the catch. It's not actually that cheap anymore, is it? That meal that used to cost just a few bananas can now cost a whopping 20 bananas. That's a habit that just drains his pile for a meal that's gone in like 10 minutes.
And what if Milo wants to go to a real restaurant? Well, a simple dinner for two people can easily cost over 100 bananas. Just think about that for a second. One single meal. And 100 bananas? Poof, they're just gone. Forever. Nothing to show for it the next morning.
And oh, here's another classic leak, subscriptions. So Milo signs up for one streaming service. It's only a banana or two a month, right? No big deal. But then he adds another one and another. Each one feels so cheap by itself that he never stops to think about how they're all adding up.
And this is where it gets kind of crazy. When you add up all those little monthly fees, Milo is spending almost 1,000 bananas a year on services he barely even uses. That is a huge pile of 960 bananas that should have been his, but they just leaked away.
Okay, so the small leaks are bad, for sure. But the big purchases, this is where Milo gets into real trouble. These are the kinds of choices that can wipe out a massive chunk of his banana pile all at once.
Let's talk about buying a brand new car. Milo loves that new car smell. But the moment, literally the second, he drives it off the lot, that car loses about 20% of its value. He just spent 100 bananas on something that, minutes later, is only worth 80. That's a huge instant loss. And this is a really, really important point. A new car is not an investment. An investment is something that grows your banana pile. A new car does the exact opposite. Every day, it's worth a little less. It's basically like taking a few of your bananas every morning and just setting them on fire.
And then there's the vacation trap. We've all seen it. Milo scrolling online, he sees his friends posting these amazing photos, and he feels that pressure, So he puts a big trip on a credit card, has one incredible week, and then spends the next year, or even longer, paying it off with stress. 1 week of fun for a year of being chained to debt. This all leads us to maybe the biggest trap of them all, and that's spending your bananas not because you need something, but because you want to look like you have a lot of bananas. This is all about what other people think.
Let me just break this down with a super simple example. Here's a plain t-shirt. It's comfy. It does the job. It costs 1 banana. Seems perfectly reasonable, right?
Okay, now look at this one. It is the exact same t-shirt, probably made in the exact same factory. But this one has a tiny little logo on it. And because of that one little logo, the price jumps from 1 banana to 20 bananas.
So you really have to ask yourself, what did those extra 19 bananas actually get you? It wasn't better quality, it wasn't more comfort, it bought you one thing, the logo. The ability to show other people you bought a certain brand. And here's the real secret. Most people don't even notice. And the ones who do, they don't really care.
And this thinking gets Milo stuck on what I call the upgrade treadmill. A new phone comes out and he suddenly feels like he needs it, even though his old phone works just fine. Same with his laptop, his smartwatch. Tech companies are geniuses at making us feel like our perfectly good stuff is suddenly junk.
So, after seeing all of Milo's mistakes, how does Mona end up with that giant growing pile of bananas? Well, the secret to actually being rich is way simpler than the exhausting work of trying to look rich.
I mean, the difference is pretty clear when you put their choices side by side. Milo spends on things to impress people. New cars, logos, fancy dinners, things that lose their value super fast.
Mona, on the other hand, spends on things that actually provide value. A reliable used car, simple clothes, and good meals she cooks at home. She just uses her stuff until it doesn't work anymore.
These are Mona's secrets, and you can see they're not complicated at all. She just makes smart choices. She cooks more, she buys used, she cancels subscriptions she's not watching, she keeps her phone until it actually dies. But the biggest secret, the most important one, is the one at the bottom. She just stopped caring about impressing other monkeys.
And that really brings us to the main idea of all of this. For most of us, there's a choice to be made. You can spend your bananas trying to look wealthy, or you can use them to actually become wealthy. But it is incredibly hard to do both.
So, I'll leave you with this one question. Think about your own habits for a second. What's one little banana leak that you can plug starting today? What's one thing you could change to stop your own pile from shrinking and maybe finally start watching it grow?